Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to everybody's favorite War in the Balkan Simulator. It is Kaiserreich. We are promoting economic structuralism. And then we're going to do stuff with the faction. We liberate our territory, but we have no other, Yeah, we have no other option. I guess we'll take sustained strategic bombing campaign at some point. Aha! Our goal is Balkan liberation. We have a puppet Bulgaria, which, honestly, it was a good idea that we finished that war. We now have basically an additional nation. Greece has decided they don't care, which, yeah, it's fine. We'll have to see if they become a liability. I guess I'll go Relief Command, because it gives me more XP costs. Spanish Civil War is over. Interesting. Cuba's joining the Reichspakt. I am wondering whether or not we want to... I don't know if I care enough about any wars. Additionally, we we have these infantry divisions. I think these are pretty good, all things considered. Excuse me. At least as, our baseline divisions. Oh, we can press some buttons. Let's see. I don't know how to get rid of the Conspiracy. Are there any... Probably want an industrial concern. Can't do anything with military stuff. Yeah, this is the thing. I don't know how to get rid of the Conspiracy. I'm gonna look around for that. Education reform. No, can't do that. I kinda wonder whether it's something involving this. Either way, I'm gonna do the pact against Austria first. I guess I'll get anti-air. I don't know if that's good, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay. Together against Austria. With the Bulgarian threat eliminated, it's time to turn our attention to the next and greatest enemy. The Austrians have been oppressing fellow Serbs for centuries, and all our previous attempts failed. We have an opportunity to right this historical wrong. The Habsburgs are isolated. It's time to strike down the dying husk once and for all. It doesn't say that this declares war on them. It doesn't. This would be the thing that would declare war on them. I think. A button, at least. Either way, we should wait for the Weltkrieg, pretty obviously. I'm not confident I can beat the... I don't, theoretically, I could have jumped on them earlier. But... Okay. Victory in the Balkan War. After years of planning preparations, the combined forces of the Belgrade Pact now stand victorious over the Bulgar menace. No longer can the Bulgarians pressure us into doing their bidding, because we are now the masters of the Balkans. Our victory came at a cost, of course. Many brave men gave their lives to achieve a long-held dream, and it's their lives we celebrate in this stunning victory. Yet, even after reclaiming our rightful territories from the clutches of the Bulgarians, our mission isn't over. Austria stands firm to the north, oppressing the South Slavic population and doing the Habsburgs' bidding. This cannot stand. We must right the wrongs of the Weltkrieg, and finally take revenge against Vienna. Though, to ensure unity amongst the Belgrade Pact, a second Belgrade Congress will be held in the coming weeks. Set out the invitations. I could begin getting naval experience. I guess. I think I'm maybe going to wait for either all-weather or I think industrial. Alright, Civil War. Metals might actually be wise. Reduced supply consumption could be good. Especially because these guys, you know, they're not getting enough supplies. Our core population situation is, like, not ideal. The delegates arrive. Today, a multinational throng of diplomats, observers, and military officials from Greece and Romania descended upon Belgrade to attend the opening ceremony of the Second Congress of Belgrade. In the short speech, the Prime Minister thanked all the delegates for attending, and they gave a toast to our certain victory over our mutual enemies in Vienna. Tomorrow, the serious discussions will begin concerning everyone's claims on Habsburg territory and our approach to dealing with them. But today is a day to cherish this rare celebration of pan-national unity. Let the Congress begin. I love good. Alright. Deciding on a goal. Our overall game might be unified, but there are multiple ways we can approach dealing with Vienna. The more radical delegates of Congress calling for a war to bleed the Austrians dry and revenge for their actions during the Weltkrieg. On the other hand, more moderate diplomats are favoring a more diplomatic approach, hoping to negotiate with Vienna rather than being purely belligerent towards them. A peaceful approach would like to be preferable. Fewer optimistic about Austria's chances of actually going to the negotiating table. Ultimately, the leading Serb delegates have the final choice over what approach we should seek to take. After some hours of backward meetings, they returned to the Congress with their choice of action: to war with Austria. Force them with diplomacy. Hey, if they say no, then we get to act like the aggrieved party. Uruguay wins the World Cup. Let's see, can I make one more infantry division? I can make 2 more infantry divisions. I should get working on that. That's pretty swaggy. These are not ideal. Yay, no more severe disturbances. I love it when my disturbances are no longer severe. Serbia will never forget its heroes. Alright, Russia's doing well, which we like. That's good. We like it when the Russians succeed. Because we're not gonna fight them. I don't know why we would. I would love to bring the Greeks back into our faction. Austria rebukes our effort. Predictably, Vienna has refused to negotiate. It's clear they want the war that will finally bring the end of the rotten empire. It's time for us to march towards the final battle to overthrow the Habsburg yoke. War it is then. Oh well. Greece leaves the Congress. Okay, their loss. I don't care about Austria. That's annoying, but I would be shocked if the Romanians left. I don't know why they would. We still pretty clearly have a shared enemy. The question of claims. The plan of action decided the negotiations of delegations have decided to formalize their claims to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Naturally, we've made sure to inform them that our government's ultimate goal is to unite the South Slavs of Austria-Hungary under a flag, freeing them from centuries of oppression. We shall free the Slavs. Yay, Slavs. I would love to gank Albania and take all their stuff. It's probably good for us to, like, build some fortifications on the border with Austria. You know. I want to fortify a little bit harder. That's fine for now. Continue to buff up Belgrade. But yeah, just a little bit of fortification together with Austria. Okay. So, do we have the we can declare war on them button? Nope. Can I get that? Friends with benefits. Ooh. Okay. Opera Sija. Mars Nidrunu. When Serbs and Austrians faced off in 1914, we were eventually overwhelmed by the Empire's superior might and their German allies. Since we learn from mistakes and think ahead, if we end up at war with the Austrians again, we'll need to prepare in advance and march to war with the grand battle plan in our hands. Okay. And we're going to be flagging lands. We can attack the Austrian Empire. Do we want to do it now? Absolutely not. When do we want to do it? Congress has ended. Unlocked. With our planned intention clear, Congress comes to close. Now march for the final battle. The establishment of a new order in the Balkans, one where the nations are free from foreign empires and oppression onwards. We probably want like a real doctrine. That seems good. That would be smart. We still don't have that. Yeah, we need more support equipment. I could speed things up, and I will. Alright, more war in a place I don't really care about. Haiti versus the Dominican Republic. Tales old as time. Beauty and the Beast. Alright. Conceivably, I could swap out this guy for something else? Really, none of these pop to me. Yeah. Bojovic retires. The last Vojvoda, Petr Bjovic, has officially handed his resignation from military command to Chief of Staff of the Serbian Army today, stating he's fulfilled his final duty to the Serbian state, almost 80 years old. He no longer sees himself as capable of continuing much further. While Pierce impressed by his skill and acumen, as, like always, the Vojvoda asserted in his letter that he should not be overestimated. A long time has passed since the Weltkrieg, and the worst of the modern day are completely different from what he's grown up under. This difference in technology, tactics, and geopolitics is something he believes he will never fully overcome. Bojovic has entrusted a new generation of Serbs to do better than him. They are persistent people, and will surely find their way in the wars today, as long as they put their heart to it, or retire to a humble home in Belgrade instead. So long, Lion of... That's, Bregalnica. That's unfortunate, but, you know, I think we'll survive. Oh, boy. You got up to 100. More war support's probably good, though we don't need it right now. We could get air guy. I think we probably want to wait for... Let's just, yeah, we're going to get started. We're going to get started on that right now. Okay. About marking territories. How does that work? You can flag states. There we go. Okay. Once you flag it, you can't unflag it. I actually think that doing it... in Smyrna on the West Banat, that's probably fine. We have options. I want to see if we can, like, get to the end of this, because I don't really know how to get rid of the conspiracy problem. Anyways, promote workplace democracy. Democracy must be a part of daily life, not just in politics, but in the workplace as well. We must endorse the cause of labor unions and foster the creation of communal worker-owned businesses, both to rejuvenate the economy and ensure that common people get their share. Seems fine. Alright. The Reds are successful. That doesn't always bode super well for us. I should go to extensive conscription as soon as I can. That's what I need to spend this political power on. Clearly. Alright, more war out east. Clearly, that's like the constraint. What the heck is going on here? Yeah, I need to do that. That'll do. That'll do it. SRI looking bad. Workplace democracy promoted. Time to go to extensive conscription. Progressive labor? Or progressive taxation. There's no reason for a lowly worker to businessman to be taxed the same. The former can barely live on the few dinars he keeps, while the latter pays almost millions in the bank even after taxes. We need to levy more taxes on the wealthy, and so enforce a just redistribution of the wealth. Okay. The dinaric race. The concept of the dinaric race was created by Western racial scientists in the late 19th century. The way to classify peoples of southeastern Europe had been hijacked by pan-Slavic nationalists since the earliest days. As the most radical currents in Yugoslavism ideology, describes Serbs, Croats, Slovenes, Bosniaks, and Macedonians as part of a single race. The difference between arose as the result of historical separation rather than inherent differences. Honorable's early supportive ideas, which would later form dinarism, was Jovan Svijic. That's Svijic, I believe. Jovan Svijic. Serbian geographer and geologist used the environmental conditions of the Balkans to describe the formations of this joint South Slavic identity across the border from Serbia. Those ideas most prominently developed by Croat philosopher Vladimir Dvornikovic, who declares his writings that the South Slavs need to unite for mutual interests, much like the Germans and Italians in the 19th century. His views include eugenics and cultural blending to build a strong Yugoslav race, and a comprehensive description of unitarist Yugoslavian philosophy. Dmitry Lucic and his political party are the closest to propagating dinarist ideas in Serbian politics. What odd ideas. You said it. But it'd be useful if it convinces people to die for the country. Yeah, boy. Whoop. All right. No idea. No idea. Oh, this would increase recruitable population, which is nice. Let's see. 38. Probably should do the research. Boop, 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 boop. We have enough. We have enough guys. Yeah, it's such a weird division template. Do I want beefier infantry? I want to try to do something else. I don't know. I don't know. All right, progressive taxation. Combat public service corruption. Corruption in the public service acts like a friction force in the government work. It takes up resources. It makes government operations slow and the government untrustworthy. Not to mention, it's simply immoral. Through examination and audits, however, we can catch all of the worst offenders. That's good. More guys. Probably should start training. I think I'm believing in just training our infantry. More infantry. It's for you and me. More support equipment. I'll convert. Time for the war in the desert. Convert the random Chinese equipment that Irmo had. Imro. It's Imro, not Irmo. Use it. Button. Levant crisis. But what about the oil? Alright. Time to get plus 150 political power. The Republican Party has historically stood in favor of stronger presidentialism in the United States of America. Hey, what's up? With its combination of federal decentralization and strong executive leadership have been their inspiration for reform of government in a South Slavic state. Let us pass legislation to empower the Serbian executive in preparation. Does getting rid of the conspiracy, like, require that we do something? I don't know. I don't really know how this works. We're about to get tons of political power. All-weather expert, baby. Make it better and easier to make guns. More infantry divisions. Alright, this is like... We're getting there. Oh boy, more war. I just, like, don't know if we have... I don't know, if the Greeks want to go after the Ottomans, you know, I hope they have fun. Zili Fangtian War. Do I care about going after the Ottomans? I'm not hugely focused on that. I mean, I suppose if, like, I have the option, I would want to. I don't know. I wonder about, like, capturing rail links. Is it probably not? It probably is worth it to buff up my railways to level 3. Just in this section, at least. Probably is also worth it to start building military factories in Kosovo. Ooh, and now we can start thinking about things like aircraft, except we can't, because we have no... Oh, we actually do. Stand by. Airplanes. No. That'll have to do. That doesn't do anything. Airplanes! They're not very good, but they exist. Having any planes is better than having none planes. Yay! Gradually recovering. Yay, we strengthen presidential powers. We should get started. There you go. Montenegrin experiment. Our idea for South Slavic... let's do liberation of the woman. The Constitution of 1926 granted Serbian women the right to vote, but plenty of hurdles still remain before we consider them truly equal men. We are all humans with equal capabilities. We must not be hamstrung by outdated traditions. And we must not be hamstrung by lower than maximum available population. Because I really, want to declare a war. Okay. I'm trying to think about this. Anyways. Anyways. Okay. So, we have lots of air XP. Oh, no. We have the option to make a land doctrine. Boy, I don't know what I should take. I don't know what doctrines are good. I think Grand Paddle Plan is pretty good. Because it gives me max planning, which, you know, I think that's probably what we got to go for. There we go. Let's see. Branch independent. I don't need more XP. Research speed? Yeah, research speed is probably good. I can't guarantee it. King Edward abdicates the throne. A new British king. Goodness. More guns. More shooter guns. More guns. Alright, it is 1939, which means it's time to improve our industrial output. $20, huh? Alright. Oh, another upside of this is having the entire Bulgarian army on our side. Huge upside there. I mean, actually, I think that waiting is smart, because I can now deploy a lot more divisions. Iran declared war. Okay, another... Syndicalists take over Australasia. How alarming. Syria is capitulated on certain times. The Armenian Uprising. Good luck. Oh, I developed joint research practices. Potassium oil fields. I feel like developing the potassium oil fields is probably good, right? Yeah, I can do that pretty quickly. Or, you know, and I can do it without focusing. Good. Liberation of the woman. There's lots of valuable stuff. This maybe is not valuable. Excuse me. Harmony of the classes! There's no need for class conflict. We can successfully erase the reasons for this conflict. Corruption, injustice, and exploitation. The ideal Serbia, all these flaws shall be eradicated from a harmonious liberal democracy, created one that will last for generations, become a beacon of liberty in the Balkans. How much more, scarred nation? It's still pretty bad, but this will help improve our... help remove the scars. Fall of Denver! RIP, United States Military Administration. I think they're the horse I backed, so... Fall of Beijing. Deal with the devil. Whoa, lots of stuff is happening. Yep, so everyone's fighting the Workers' Congress. I can support, I guess, the American Constitutional Coalition. It's fine. It's fine. Doing so is fine. Everything's fine. Might as well get a naval reformer. What childish fantasy! Alright. With that, I am going to see you in the next episode. This was a build-up. We are going to wait for the Weltkrieg to strike the Austrians. I think that's smart. We'll see. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.